Idlib, the breadbasket of northwest Syria, vast, serene. Until recently, farmland here was largely untouched by 8 years of conflict. But a disturbing pattern of attacks on farmers and their crops has led to accusations the Assad regime is trying to starve its population into submission. Warfare by starvation is a war crime in many countries, including Russia, one of Syria's main allies, but not in Syria itself. Rescuers filmed this on the 7th of July. A family harvesting aubergine near Khartoum had been attacked. Paramedics frantically try to find survivors. 6 people were killed, 3 women and their brother, along with their aunt and a cousin. This, one of the latest in a series of disturbing attacks on farmers that we've been investigating. With Russian support, the Assad regime has regained control of most of the country. Idlib province near the border with Turkey and parts of northern Hama are the last areas controlled by rebel forces and radical Islamist fighters. We hear of an incident in the area of Hish, near the front line with government forces. It's the end of May. A farmer's van carrying grain has been hit. White helmets, Syria's makeshift search and rescue team pull the dead farmer from the wreckage. We track down another farmer who was injured whilst trying to help.
ما وصلنا بعيدين عنهم تقريبا شغلة 100 متر. قام لف الحربة ورجع ضرب علينا. الضربة كانت علينا بعيدة عني شيء 30 متر أنا وأخوي. فاجت إصابتي، أنا تصوبت وأخوي كمان تصوب. أنا طبعا الإصابة صارت في خاصرتي، اجت قطعت الأمعاء وضربت الكولون عندي، وقال في شظي بدك شق بطن.
A case of being in the wrong place at the wrong time? A few days later, we hear of another attack, this time near Tal Raji. A farmer films white-hot munitions raining from the sky. Pockets of fire slowly begin to engulf the fields. The regime blames these fires on the summer heat and rebels who burn their crops so that they can sell what's left to Turkey at knockdown prices. They also accuse rebels of attacking farms in regime-controlled areas. Satellite images show the scene on the day of the fire. 5 days later, around a square kilometre is ash. But this is just one fire. From mid-May to early July, satellites show a ring of scorched earth stretching at least 75 kilometres and surrounding rebel-held territory. It's the 4th of June. These men are desperately trying to put out a fire they say was started by the Syrian army. They have little more than branches to fight the flames. High winds and dry crops make the effort futile.
وقصفونا هالعرصات الجيش الله لا يوفقهم. هاي لقمة عيش هاي. قصف الحصادات وهي عم تحصد. قصف الحصادات بده مصاري يا أخي. طلبوا من العالم كل واحد 25,000 لحتى يخلونا نحصد.
That's about £38 each. The World Food Programme says that several thousands of acres of farmland in this area have been lost to the fighting, and up to 300,000 people have fled. While these men didn't pay, others do. This secretly recorded footage appears to show a gathering of farmers. One of the farmers told us the man in the blue shirt acts as a middleman for the regime. He appears to be brokering a deal between the Syrian army and the combine driver in the van, so he can harvest without fear of being attacked. We call this extortion. In Syria, it's just tax, a large share of the profits, or it's burnt. After a brief negotiation, money changes hands. The middleman is heard reassuring another farmer nothing will happen to his crop. We tracked down one of the men on that road who's just paid his protection money. He says it goes straight to a Syrian army officer.
حسبنا الله ونعم الوكيل حرق لها محاصيل لسبب أن الناس فقراء ولا يستطيعون دفع الأداوة التي فرضها عليهم هذا الضابط. ايش دفعتوا؟ يوميا نحن ندفع مبلغ بسيط من المال يعني 25,000 ليرة سوري، وهذا الضابط يباع ويشترى ب 25,000 ليرة سوري، يعني بشيء هو قيمته أحذية.
Payment, it seems, doesn't always bring protection or safety. The harvester tells us the same day his vehicle is attacked. It is the 6th of June and the villages of Kafesejna and Tamala are under attack. A camera person working for Channel 4 News records what appears to be missile strikes and incendiary weapons raining down on the dry ground below. In both the villages we find evidence of what appears to be a Russian-made weapon, a 9M22S incendiary rocket. According to the Armament Research Services, it's designed to create large fires in areas of vegetation. Hexagonal components, which are scattered all around this area, are made of magnesium and filled with pyrotechnics. The use of these weapons in populated areas is banned under international humanitarian law, but Syria doesn't recognize them. The presence of these weapons makes it dangerous to use heavy machinery. Wheat production in Syria is now at a 30-year low. The Assad regime imports up to 1.5 million tons a year, mostly from Russia, which these men blame for the destruction of their livelihood. For this cumin farmer, the problem now is economics. He has to harvest by hand, which requires more men and more money.
المسبب الأول والأخير هو النظام. يعني اليوم استنى شوف النظام ما بلش عمل إلا مع اقتراب الموسم مشان يكسر الحاضنة الشعبية للثوار، مشان الأهالي إنه لا خلص ساووا هدنة واتفقوا معه. سبحان الله هو السبب الأول والنهائي هو النظام وروسيا وإيران شركاء.
The human cost of losing valuable cropland may not be felt until winter, but by then it could be too late. All sides in this conflict have been accused of war crimes. Could the fires of Idlib be the next?